I'm really excited to talk about our book this week. I'm going to show you because I'm really excited. Key Person of Influence by Daniel Priestley. The reason I'm excited is because this book, when I read it, meant a lot to me. Really because a lot of the ideas in this book I've kind of had independently from different sources, from reading different books and exploring different ideas. I've kind of had most of the ideas, I won't say all, but a lot of the ideas from in here independently. And at that time, they were kind of sporadic ideas. And this book really helped me take all of those ideas together and put them into one place and organize those thoughts in my head. So to become a key person of influence, Daniel Priestley's for 5-step strategy, I think he calls it, the 5-step method, is pitch, publish, product, profile, and partnership. So there's 5 steps. Now, I've kind of been doing those things in different ways. Like, for example, profile. I think profile for me is really about building up my LinkedIn profile. That's really where I've put my effort, I think, into creating what I believe is a good LinkedIn profile. It's not perfect. And I think with anything that's relating to sort of social media or your profile, you have to constantly be refining it. Yeah. You have to be looking at what's trending, what's working today that wasn't working yesterday, or what's not working now that was working yesterday, things like that. And I think that's the problem for me in terms of having let's call it a social media profile, keeping it up to date. I know it is important. So what I've done is I've decided after reading this that I should just focus on one profile that is something I try to keep up to date and something I focus on. That's my LinkedIn. Okay, so my LinkedIn profile is where you'll find everything that I'm doing tends to go on LinkedIn. Okay. Yeah, so that's my profile. Like I said, I'm really excited to sort of talk about this book because, like I said, it helped me to organize my thoughts and try and, I suppose, really work through a good strategy. Like, for example, so I told you the 5: pitch, publish, product, profile, partnership. Pitch. Your pitch really needs to be like an elevator pitch or whatever, however you want to approach it. Your pitch, you need to be able to tell people what you do in an easily understandable way. Sometimes that is quite difficult to actually do, I think, to actually say to somebody, what do you do? Yeah. And again, my pitch is something that I am constantly refining. Yeah. Okay, so pitch. Publish. Now, I was already creating content, but I think I was doing it without any real strategy. Now, again, a publishing strategy is something that you kind of have to refine on a regular basis. But again, this book has really helped me think about my strategy. Okay, so again, LinkedIn is my main social media profile. So that's where you will be able to find articles that I've written or newsletters that I publish on LinkedIn. But if it's not on LinkedIn, it's going to be on Substack or it's going to be on YouTube. And on LinkedIn, I make sure there are always up-to-date links to anything that is not posted on LinkedIn. There'll be a link to either a Substack post or a YouTube video. Okay, so pitch, publish, we've spoken about profile, product. Okay, so I think what Daniel Priestley is talking about here is having something that people can buy from you, in a sense. But it could also be something that you can just give to somebody. It doesn't have to be something that you produce for a monetary value. So what is your product? And I suppose the product is This is something I'm struggling with, if I'm honest. Creating a product that is scalable and something that people will be interested in parting with money for. Yeah. So, I mean, traditionally, I have worked as an English language teacher. Now, that's an easy thing. You want English language lessons, I'm a teacher. You give me money, I give you a lesson. That's a service. Now, turning that service into a product, you might think would be very, very easy. But actually, I think it's really, really difficult to create a product that is marketable and valuable that people will pay good money for. I don't see the point in trying to create a product that someone buys for a few dollars or a few pounds or a few euros, because it's too much hassle and things go wrong, and then you've really got to support your users. And if they're only paying a small amount of money, you're kind of wasting more time supporting them on a low sort of value product. And that's not really what I want. I suppose what we all want ideally is a product that we can persuade people to pay thousands for. That, I think, is a real struggle. Okay. And I'm not really trying to do that in the English language sort of training world. I'm trying to do that in the world of communication skills, which is my passion. My passion is teaching communication skills, particularly to people who find interactions awkward and difficult, because I've always found those kinds of interactions awkward and difficult. So that's really my passion. That's what I'm trying to focus on in terms of creating a profile, publishing about my pitch, still working on it, but creating a product that is accessible to people, that isn't just me. I don't want to be the product. I want to be part of the product, but I don't want to be 100% of the product. So I'm struggling, if I'm honest, on turning my skills and knowledge into a product that people can buy from me. If you have any advice or tips or help, I am open to suggestions. The other thing which I haven't embarked on yet, I'm procrastinating about this. It's something that I do. I procrastinate quite regularly. Is the fifth P, which is partnerships. Partnerships. I actually think, for me personally, developing something that we could say call a product is going to come after partnerships. I think for me, because I think developing a partnership with somebody will give me a better insight into perhaps what products, whether it's a book, whether it's an online course, whether it's something that people would buy. I think working or partnering with other people will give me a better insight into what I should create. So and again, like I said, I'm procrastinating about creating partnerships. I wish I knew why. I don't know why. I'm just procrastinating. I write myself a to-do list, or try and create, action in terms of reaching out to people on a regular basis. And, I'm reaching out, I'm commenting, but I'm not really approaching people about partnering just yet. I don't know. I'm fearing the rejection of people going to say that. I know the first person I ask is going to say no to me, because, to be honest, I'm a nobody in this space. I know I'm a nobody in this space, and to get any kind of traction, you're going to have to sort of partner with perhaps people who have more experience and more knowledge. Yeah. So at the moment, I'm a nobody in this space, and that makes reaching out to people really, really difficult. I'm procrastinating. I know I'm going to face rejection, which is stressful and anxiety inducing in me. So I'm kind of stuck. I wouldn't say stuck, but I'm kind of sort of in between. I think I've got my pitch kind of sorted, but again, it's constantly being refined. I'm publishing on a regular basis, and I think my profile, which again being refined on a constantly updated, I think I've got the 3 Ps. So it's that product and partnership, that I'm working on. But yeah, I'm still really, really excited to share this book with you, The Key Person of Influence. I'm trying to think, what else is good about this book? Everything is great about this book. Honestly, if you haven't read it, you've got to read Key Person of Influence. Even if you want to take a few ideas from it in terms of how you can become influential. Yeah. Sitting at your desk just working is not going to make you influential. You have to sort of be proactive. And honestly, most of the advice that I want to share with people about communication, improving your communication skills and developing your network of contacts is in this book. It really is. Yeah. I mean, I've maybe taken some of these ideas and expanded them a little bit. I've taken other ideas from other people, but this is a really good book. Yeah. If you want to be a key person of influence, and when we talk about a key person of influence, yeah, it could just be a key person of influence in your team. Your team might be 5, 7, 10, 15 people. You could be a key person of influence in that team. And if that's all you want, brilliant. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You might want to become a key person of influence in your company, in your division, in your industry. Okay. Again, this book can really help you. Yeah. Whether you suffer from sort of, socially awkward anxiety like I do, or not, this book can help you. Now, if you are like me, socially awkward, anxious, bit of an introvert, then reaching out to other people might be a bit of a challenge for you. It is for me. If you want to continue following me on this journey, please subscribe to me on Substack, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're sort of finding this podcast from, and continue to follow my journey. I am just an average guy, an average person who is just looking for a little bit of what this book offers. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be an influencer, social media influencer. I don't want to be, I just want a little bit, just a tiny amount. If you're like me, follow, like, subscribe, and continue to support this podcast. So there you go. That's the end of this episode. Thanks for joining me on Atomic Ambition, the podcast. Our book this week, Key Person of Influence, and see you next week.